If you stay to the end of this video, I'm gonna show you my exact content calendar for January of 2021. Get ready to take screenshots because you're not gonna wanna miss this one. Keep on watching. Hello everyone. Welcome to a brand new year and a brand new Instagram strategy. I'm so excited to be sharing this video with you. It feels like a fresh start. We all are ready to walk away from the flaming pile of garbage that was 2020, and we all are still naive enough to have hope for the new year. So feels good, doesn't it? Before we get into it, I feel like I just need to pour a piping hot cup of tea, and that is this. So many people at the beginning of a new year, or really at any point in time, feel like there's a new Instagram algorithm and they have to learn how to beat the new algorithm. Constantly, I'm seeing people talk about this on Instagram. There's a new algorithm, like here's what Instagram wants you to do now. I think there are a lot of misconceptions around algorithm changes and what that even means. And if I'm totally brutally honest with you, I think a lot of people are very apt to blame an algorithm change for why their engagement is low or why their reach is low, when really what they might need to do is analyze the content they've been creating. Because trust me, the Instagram algorithm is not making some massive change every time you see somebody post about this. This is just a way for people to kind of explain why they maybe aren't seeing the results they want to see. That's not to say nothing ever changes. It definitely does. In 2020, we saw the addition of Reels, and we also know that stories are way more important than ever, and new live features have been added. So every time new features are added to Instagram, you can imagine that those features are going to be integrated into the way the algorithm works in some way. That being said, I don't want you to be duped by the people that are claiming that there are new Instagram algorithms like every other month, because it's just not true. However, it is still important that we reassess our Instagram strategies on a regular basis, such as at the beginning of a new year, and talk about what is most effective right now. This is not some secret sauce or mysterious formula that Instagram is hiding from us. This is just simply understanding what content can be made on Instagram right now, what type of content our audience is connecting with most, and how can we create that content in the most effective and efficient way possible. Instagram is not out to get us as creators. Instagram is just prioritizing keeping users on their platform for as long as possible so that they can show them more ads. And when you acknowledge that and accept it, and stop feeling like the algorithm is some crazy mysterious thing that is trying to ruin your business, you're gonna have a lot easier of a time creating content and being successful on Instagram. So I'm gonna be honest, in the later months of 2020, I kind of fell off the rails with Instagram a little bit. My business got really crazy and busy, which is awesome, but it meant that I was not prioritizing my own content nearly as much as I was prioritizing my clients' content. Thankfully, I was able to hire a bunch of new people, and now I'm on track to start off 2021 right and create all kinds of awesome content for Instagram, and I'm gonna share my strategies with you today. In case we haven't met before, hi, I'm Katie, and I'm the owner of a social media content creation agency called Steckly Creative Services. My team and I help influencers and business owners with their Instagram, podcast, and YouTube content. If you're interested in working with us, you can go to katiesteckly.com or just leave me a comment below and we can chat. All right, why don't we jump into the conversation about my Instagram strategy? Go grab yourself a snack, grab that afternoon iced coffee that you need to get through the day. Oh, is that just me? Okay. Obviously, the first major component to my Instagram content strategy is the content that ends up in the feed. In case you haven't seen one of my videos before, I normally like to categorize Instagram content into three main areas. The first is Instagram feed content. So that includes anything like photos, videos, graphics that you would post to your feed. I also group Reels and IGTV into this because you can share previews of those to your feed. So that's what I call Instagram feed content. The second part of any good Instagram strategy is gonna be your stories, right? We know stories are so important and it's a totally different ballgame, something that I'm gonna address later on in the video. Third part of an Instagram content creation strategy is your live streams. And when it comes to how much you should focus on any of those given areas, it's gonna depend on your specific niche and your goals, but I would say that the feed is gonna be your priority, with stories coming in at a close second. Like maybe you wanna spend like 50% of your time on feed content, 40% of your time on stories, and then like 10% on lives. That's my personal ratio. Okay, so let's talk feed content. By far, my number one priority for 2021 is, let's all say it together, Reels. We know that TikTok is like the biggest thing on the planet right now, and Reels is Instagram's attempt to capture some of that attention. And so I am gonna be focusing a lot more on creating Reels that have the purpose of extending my organic reach. Connected to this is outside of Instagram, I'm going to be focusing a lot more on TikTok. And so there's a lot of room for repurposing there. Honestly, a lot of people either watch TikTok or they watch Reels. I'm personally a TikTok viewer. I know a lot of people that follow me on Instagram have said that they prefer watching Reels. So I don't think you have to worry about double posting. Creating one piece of content and posting it to TikTok and Reels, totally fine. Different people are watching these different platforms. The reason this is so important is because more so than any other kind of content on Instagram right now, Reels can extend your organic reach. Reels have the possibility of showing up on that Reels feed, the For You page of Instagram, if you will. And that is the place where new people can find you. Hashtags, of course, also serve this purpose, but I would personally hazard a guess that more people are scrolling through the Reels feed than are browsing different hashtags. That doesn't mean you shouldn't use hashtags. I'm actually currently investigating and exploring the importance of hashtags by doing a bit of an experiment with my own content. So make sure you subscribe, because in the next few weeks, I'm gonna be posting a video analyzing my results to let you know just how important hashtags really are in 2021. That being said, for now, keep up the hashtag game, but if you really want to increase your reach, posting Reels is where it's at. Coming up with Reels ideas can be intimidating to some, but it's important that one, spend some time watching Reels, watching TikToks, get a sense of what performs well, what do you find engaging, replicate those ideas for your own niche, and I think that you'll see good results. It's always important to remember that you're trying to provide value, and also you're providing value to people that might not know who the heck you are, because if they're scrolling through the Reels feed, they might not have seen you before. That's the whole point of this content, is to convert people that have no idea who you are into followers. So provide value without any other context at all. That's kind of the challenge of Reels, and I'm personally gonna be focusing on it a lot in 2021. And I would say with my monthly TikTok or Reels content, they're basically interchangeable. I am gonna be focusing on doing 50% evergreen, high value educational content, and then 50% trends, fun, entertainment type content. Now, the thing about TikTok, if you've spent any time on it, is that the trends are changing by the day. So in order to accommodate for this, I'm gonna be brainstorming my evergreen content on just an ongoing basis. I'll keep adding it to the spreadsheet as I go. And then once a week, I have scheduled into my Google Calendar 2 hours on Tuesday afternoons to come up with my trends-based content and film my Reels and TikToks for that week. I think this is a good structure because you can't really batch work TikToks / Reels that much in advance, because they won't really be relevant anymore by the time you post them, especially if you are following some kind of trend. However, when it comes to the 50% evergreen content, that can certainly be batched work. So everybody is gonna have to find their own balance of when it works with your schedule or what makes sense for you, but I'm just telling you how I plan to do it in case maybe that works for you too. Now, in terms of frequency, everybody always wants to know, how often do you need to post this stuff? So for me personally, I'm gonna be posting Reels and TikToks every weekday. That is my big challenge for 2021, because I know it's important. I know how significant it's gonna be for growth. So I'm prioritizing that, and I'm gonna try to post a Reel every single weekday. If you're just getting started and that seems like a lot, then start with once a week. Try to move your way up to 2 or 3 times a week. But I think daily is gonna give you the best results. And honestly, on TikTok, you could even be posting 3 times a day to see the best results possible. But this is about Instagram. Let's talk about Instagram, Katie. Okay, that's enough about Reels. The next main thing that I'm gonna be focusing on with my Instagram feed content is shareable graphics. In 2020, we saw a huge surge of the sharing and engagement with graphic carousel posts, especially stuff that provides information, like in depth, a lot of text on the screen. It's kind of crazy because a few years ago, you never would have expected that text on an image on Instagram would perform well, but I think the combination of it providing a lot of value and also keeping people on the post for a really long time, because it takes you a while to read everything on each slide, really makes those kinds of posts perform really, really well in the algorithm. Because if you didn't know, other than likes, comments, shares, and saves, Instagram does monitor how long any given user spends looking at your content. And if somebody spends, say, 5 seconds looking at my post over half a second, like most people probably would, that kind of indicates to Instagram, okay, this is an engaging post. It's keeping people on the platform for longer. Therefore, let's show it in more feeds to keep more people on the platform for longer. And so that is why text-heavy graphics can actually perform really well on Instagram. So I want to focus on once a week posting a shareable graphic that provides value. I'll probably give tips about Instagram, I'll give tips about podcasting, maybe about YouTube growth as well, and I'll make sure that it is high value and engaging and the kind of thing people want to save and come back to later. By the way, if you want to check out that content when it is going up on my Instagram, make sure you go follow me at Katie Steckly on Instagram. And yes, in terms of frequency, I think I did say this, but I'll try to post those once a week, partially because I don't think that you need to bombard people with these every single day, but also because it takes a long time to put together something that is high value and high quality. So doing that once a week is going to be a more reasonable commitment. Okay, and the third aspect of my feed content strategy, we've got Reels, huge priority. Shareable graphics, also important. And the third piece is even more photos of me with vulnerable captions that share a heart-to-heart, real life shit type of stuff. I think that this historically has been seen as one of the best ways to grow on Instagram, and I do think it's true. If you want to increase your engagement with your audience, no, you don't need to pull all of your skeletons out of the closet and put all of your dirty laundry out to dry. But sharing the stuff that other people are kind of scared to share is good. First of all, it helps people, makes people feel less alone, and second of all, it does perform well because people are like, oh, mad props to you. You shared this thing that everybody else is too scared to share, and I relate to it, so I'm gonna comment here and encourage you. So I definitely wanna continue doing that. I know that it can sound really contrived and stuff to be like, I'm gonna make vulnerable posts. Because it's like, okay, well, is it really that vulnerable if you are like saying that it's vulnerable? But anyway, the point remains, sharing the kind of stuff other people are scared to talk about and just being like, it's so loud outside. And just sharing what you feel passionate about sharing. I'm gonna be honest with you, for so long, I felt really held back from sharing honestly on Instagram because I either felt like I needed to come across as this perfect, polished, had all my shit together type business owner, or else clients wouldn't want to work with me. I learned eventually that's not the case. People feel a lot more inclined to work with you if they feel like you're a real person who they can trust. And then I also felt held back because I was like, oh, I want to talk about this kind of thing, but I don't feel like my family's gonna approve. I feel like I'm gonna be judged for posting this bikini photo. And recently I had this realization while I was sitting in the tub watching a video on my iPad that was like 20 minutes of One Direction videos that will boost your serotonin. And it was a performance of them singing Clouds, which if you haven't heard it, is an absolute bop, and it just makes you feel like a rock star. And in that moment, surrounded by lush bubbles from my unicorn bath bomb, I was like, why don't I start acting like the rock star I truly am? Because clearly unicorn bath bombs and watching One Direction videos is true rock star behavior. Why not get the tattoos, post nudes on Instagram? Who cares? Do whatever you want. The only thing holding you back is you. That's at least what I learned about myself. And hopefully we can all bring a little bit of that energy into 2021. And if you ever feel afraid of like, what if my friends judge me because I'm trying to become an influencer? Or what if my family thinks it's crazy that I think I can run an online business? Be the rock star that you were born to be and post what truly matters to you. That is what is going to connect with people. So I'm like, screw it. I'm gonna talk more about body confidence. I'm gonna talk more about accepting female sexuality. I'm gonna talk more about life and the things that I care about. And I think that is gonna connect with people. I'm just telling you, this video is my Instagram strategy for 2021. So hopefully this vibes with you, but I just think that that is the energy that I need. And I think that people will like it. I think it'll perform well. And those kinds of posts, I'm gonna post 1 to 2 times a week. So my feed at any given week is gonna look like 5 reels, which still figuring out how I'm gonna make those look cute in my grid, I'll be honest with you. And 2, maybe 1 photo of me with some kind of honest or vulnerable caption, and then one shareable graphic with some high value info. So just like I promised, here is what that content calendar looks like. This is a breakdown of what I am going to post and when. So take that screenshot I was mentioning, replicate this for yourself if you want. I really do think that this is a blueprint for increased reach, increased engagement if you execute it right. Okay. This video isn't over yet though, so don't click away just because you got the big content calendar thing I was talking about. We still need to talk about Instagram stories. Instagram stories are just as important in 2021 as they were in 2020. So if you're still out here scared to show your face on Instagram stories, my friend, it's time to put yourself out there. I believe in you. You are beautiful the way you are, and you don't need to worry about anybody's judgment. Embrace that inner rock star. Go listen to Clouds by One Direction, and we're all gonna be on the same page. But seriously, what is the strategy around stories for 2021? So I'll tell you a quick story about something that I discovered about Instagram stories a couple weeks ago. I was really busy for a few days. I had to go work at my mom's restaurant. If you didn't know, my mom is also an entrepreneur, and sometimes they gotta call in the backup. So anyway, I went in and worked a couple shifts. And during those days, I was not posting on Instagram stories because your girl was serving coffee. Anyway, when I came back after those few days away from Instagram stories and posted my first one that was like rather mundane, but just kind of like, hey guys, I'm back, it got like 2,000 views in the first 2 hours. Full context, full transparency, I normally get like 1,000 or like 1,100 views in 24 hours on my Instagram story. So it's like, what is this about? This is crazy that I had this huge surge in views randomly. Anyway, through talking to other people and doing a little bit more research, I discovered that apparently if you take a few days off from posting on Instagram and then you go back to it, normally you'll see like a huge surge in story views. I've only seen this happen once, but I've heard from many other people that this is a common thing. So this leads me to believe potentially if you are feeling burnt out from posting on stories every single day, it might not hurt to actually post on stories, wait a few days, and then come back on post on stories again. You might actually optimize the number of Instagram story views you're able to get. At the very least, I've been hearing from other people like Natasha from Soul Studio that maybe posting on Instagram stories every 24 hours, like post on stories, wait for all your stories to run out, and then post again is another good way to optimize the number of views that you get. There's a lot of theories flying around, I'll be honest with you, and I am not 100% sure exactly what is gonna be the perfect thing to get the most Instagram story views in 2021, but it is definitely something that I'm gonna keep experimenting with on my own account. So I'm gonna try out posting, waiting 24 hours, then posting again, taking a few days break every week and seeing if that increases my views, and I'll definitely report back to you. So again, subscribe if you haven't already, because I'm always doing these experiments on my Instagram to see what is the most effective, and then reporting back to you all to let you know what strategies you should try out. But either way, we know that posting on stories, posting frequently, showing your face, and providing value, that is important. The frequency of that remains to be seen. We will find out. But starting daily certainly would not hurt, especially if you haven't really been posting that often on stories before. Okay, and that third piece of the content calendar that I mentioned at the very beginning is live streams. So like I said, I'm only gonna be focusing about 10% of my time and effort on live streams, but I do think they are very important. Something that I want to start doing is actually a weekly live stream, either a Q&A or planning a topic ahead of time. Let's say you have a question that you get a lot or certain topic that you want to talk about related to your niche. Just plan out a little presentation, like pretend that you are doing like a slideshow presentation to a group, like a seminar or a speech or whatever, and do that on an Instagram live, and then you'll start to get engagement that you can then respond to. But I always say when you start doing Instagram lives, don't expect that you can go on live and then just be inspired by what people who are watching are asking. That's not going to give you enough content. So make sure that you have something planned going into it. So what I'm going to be doing is probably planning out every other week or so what I want to talk about. So I'll come up with some kind of story or topic or presentation. And then on the alternating weeks, I will put out a call for like a Q&A. So on, let's say if I'm going to do my live streams on Friday, on Thursday, I'll post on my stories and I'll say, hey, like if you have any questions, not so meek. I got to be more bold than that. I'll be like, hey, everybody, if you have questions, let me know. I'm going to do a live stream tomorrow. And then I will take those questions and answer them on the live. So I would recommend, especially if you haven't dabbled with it before, in 2021, make it a goal to do a live stream like every other week, even once a month to get started. And I think that you'll start to see more engagement from your audience. I used to do live streams more often and I would have such great conversations with the people that would join me on live, and I just have gotten away from it. So I'm going to dedicate myself to doing it once a week in the new year. This year. And that is my content strategy for 2021. As you can see, Reels, shareable graphics, and stories are extremely significant. They already have been in the past few months, and they're just going to continue to be going forward. So make sure that you reevaluate your Instagram strategy to incorporate those things if you haven't already. Also, a good Instagram strategy is about way more than just the content. I didn't even get into the engagement side of things in this video. I have a whole playlist about how to use engagement to grow not only your own engagement, but also your audience in general, how to get more followers by using engagement. I have a whole playlist about it that you can check out here, but let me know in the comments if you want to see a video about engagement on Instagram updated for 2021. As always, thank you so much for watching. I'm so excited to have another year of YouTube with all of you. Always let me know if you have any suggestions, and I will definitely make those videos in the future. Thanks so much for watching, and I will see you over in this playlist. Okay, bye-bye.